Okay, this is making me feel really uncomfortable. Not like it. Is my mic on? Okay. Well then, let's go.
Hey, I gotta say, I really like that intro, and not just because I recorded it. I really thought it was pretty creative as I was listening to intro beats and trying to come up with something. I was like, oh yeah, quiet coyote. Let's get the most loudest coyotes howling and going crazy. How you guys doing? My name is Jon Jeremy, and I am your host for this podcast. As you can see, I still haven't gotten anybody but Sharky to come on my podcast. And, you know, Sharky is a very strong but also silent type, so he's just going to chill there for a little while I sit here and do this solo podcast and get a little practice from myself. I do host another podcast, so if you guys want to check that out, it's The Sober Fanboy. I encompassed two things that were really important to me. One is me being a big geek and nerd and loving just that whole entire life, pop culture, anything entertainment-wise, from movies to comics to TV shows. I just watched the season premiere of Peacemaker Season 2. We can talk about that for some other time, but I'm definitely excited to see where that goes. I did not expect Peacemaker to actually be a good show, and to me, I think it's awesome, and I highly recommend and suggest that you check that out. So anyway, this is just us fumbling through this whole new media and medium of like going through video, because I didn't have that before. So in the old podcast, Sober Fanboy, which also brings me back to talking about recovery. I've been in recovery for almost I'll have sobriety and recovery from everything for almost 12 years now, coming up soon, and that was very important in my life. So recovery and health and spirituality and health and wellness is super important to me, so that's why I encompass both of those two together and came up with that podcast. So again, you could check that out literally on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever they have podcasts. Google it, look it up, find it, The Sober Fanboy. But it was only audio, and I had a lot of cool friends that came on my podcast, but you didn't get to see them, and you didn't get to see me either. So here we are. Of course, I don't have anybody here. The only person I was able to get was Sharky, but Sharky is not only the strong, but he is the silent type. So I'm going to let Sharky sit there and rock with me, my own little partner right here. And we're going to try to do this first episode and give you a pretty good show. Yes, I speak with my hands a lot, so you see a lot of hand movements. But I'm not really the coolest type of person. I, very much am just kind of always moving around, and I do get awkward because I am awkward. And if you see me being or sounding a little weird, it's because I am weird, and I embrace that to the fullest. So we had this original podcast, The Sober Fanboy, that started back in the pandemic times, and that was pretty rough. But I was stuck in my own mind, and being a creative, I came up with the podcast idea because everyone was coming out with the podcast idea. It was so awesome. I loved listening to podcasts, and I loved even watching them even more. So now I'm like super excited, getting close to the end of 2025 to jump on the bandwagon. And we're going to be churning out many episodes. So this is just the beginning of something that I thought was really cool. I'm also going to try to see if I can get on to some Instagram Live right now. For those you guys that want to follow me and engage like this, perhaps you can come on to follow my Instagram, which is Jon Jeremy Raps. JonJeremyRaps. Jon Jeremy Raps. My old account got hacked. It was horrible, and I cried for a very long time. But right now we are live. Hopefully somebody gets on and they can maybe participate and join us on our little podcasting session. But more about myself. I also do music. I also do hip-hop music. I'm getting into just really multi-genre music. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm embracing all of the creativity that God has given to me. And I'm super excited to be able to get into that more. I've been putting out a lot more music, so of course, check out Jon Jeremy. I feel like this is all a plug. I feel like I'm just doing one giant plug of like what I'm doing and everything like that. That's why it's a lot easier to be able to have someone else here and have a great conversation. But like I said, this is the first episode and I'm getting some practice in, and I want to be able to talk to you guys directly as if we're sitting here and having a conversation, a one-way conversation. But besides me monologuing right now, I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit about this, about podcasting. I did not buy any more equipment than I already had. So if you guys want to get into podcasting for yourself, I would love to check out your podcast. I'll tell you right now, I am filming this on a regular phone. It's not even a flagship Samsung Galaxy type of phone. It is literally some Android phone. You can look it up yourself, an A54. Using the regular camera, and I just have a bunch of lights, stuff that if anything, I'll show you guys. I got this light right here. Got it for $2.99 at Savers, and that's probably the only thing I had bought this week. Everything else, all the other lights I've had already. And since I already make music, I already had the recording equipment. So I would say keep it simple. If you want to start a podcast, find your own way, see what you can do, but also realize that it doesn't have to be magnificent and wonder like this whole big orchestrated thing. I literally just saw Joe Rogan's first podcast. They have like about 7 minutes online. You can probably check it out on YouTube. And it was him and some other dude just, logging on, and people, they were streaming live, just like I'm trying to do right now, right here. Look at this. We got my man, Johnny Rock, checking. Hey, what's up? I'm doing a podcast. Johnny's on the podcast now, and he could talk and have questions if he wants while we're here trying to figure this all out together. What up? So, if you have a phone, you can have a podcast. Make sure you put it on airplane mode like I just did. You got to think about every angle. Being an alcoholic or an addict, I always look at the angles first. So, I guess I'm just drawn that way. But I'm very excited to have a lot of new guests come on here and hopefully help me to develop this this new podcast, this new medium that we're trying to do. So, what I would suggest if you are trying to do a podcast is be somewhere that's well lit. Awesome. Hi from Eagle Mountain, Utah. What's going on? Welcome to the podcast, Johnny. It's funny because today actually some random guy gave me a new nickname. He called me, he's like, yeah, Tattoo Johnny. And I'm like, yo, I kind of like that. I've been waiting almost 12 years to get a nickname, so you can call me Jon Jeremy, you can call me Tattoo Johnny, whatever you want. So I would highly recommend getting some really bright lights like I have gotten, or if you have a bunch of lamps around, just get really bright light bulbs. You probably have a lot of light bulbs at home. Well lit, find a nice, safe, dry, cool area that you would like. I just literally happened to have this. I didn't even think that this backdrop looked cool. I'm still like kind of decorating and unfolding. I'm also from New York. I travel around a lot. That's how I met my buddy Johnny here, who's on the live stream. And I've been to about 45 states, and I really just love seeing America. I've been outside the country, but seeing America, like hands-on, getting in, really inside of putting my hands in the dirt, really feeling it out. And I honestly just love it so much. There's so much to see here in the United States. It's a beautiful place. And if you are thinking about traveling or haven't traveled, we're going to talk a lot more about that. But anyway, all you have to do is not even get too complicated. If you don't have a microphone, dude, use the mic that you have on your phone. That's just good enough. And if you do have a microphone or think about getting a microphone, it doesn't have to be one of these weird mics that people don't really know exactly how this works. This is called a condenser mic. You can get the regular handheld mics. Those are dynamic mics. Those work, get like, if you have a computer nowadays, everyone might have a laptop, hopefully, or they can find a way to get to some sort of technology where you can download some sort of digital audio workstation or a DAW, and there you'll be able to download that, and it'll pretty much be kind of safe to where I use really GarageBand is like the easiest one. I've been able to navigate that. It's like literally like a 2-year-old could make an album probably by using GarageBand. Then I would probably listen to it, because if a 2-year-old made a GarageBand album, I think that first of all I'd be highly impressed, because some of the music nowadays sounds to me like it's made by less than a 2-year-old, but that's neither here nor there. I gotta be honest, being so long in this and getting older, I'm trying to be in the brain sector of like understanding when music is like, I'm just not getting it. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm getting older, I'm just not getting it. But then I think back at times of like maybe some of the older generations that had to move over when they were used to listening to like the guy with the trumpet, like, and then AC/DC's coming out and they're like, what is this? What are the kids listening to? And then those guys listening to that, Nirvana comes out of nowhere and he's all like, in the lights, entertainment, entertainment. And they're like, what is he saying? He's just mumbling and I don't even know. I mean, and I love Nirvana, so Kurt Cobain is one of the like dopest musicians to ever lived. And I actually got to visit his old house and a bench that everyone kind of goes and puts stickers on, and it's a memorial bench, the park that's literally right next to the house that he owned. I got to go visit that and see that bench that he used to sit, and also I heard write songs and stuff like that. So that's in Seattle. That's in Seattle, and it's really cool. It's a really cool place to visit, man, for sure. But I love that type of stuff. I grew up, now moving forward, like it's getting a little hard to understand some of the new music. And Sharky understands. Sharky loves music. Sharky has his own playlists and stuff. I mean, I kind of, whatever he wants to send to me, that's cool with me, Go ahead and just send over that Spotify playlist and we can get it going and listening to that. But I like really okay, so I don't know if I've never been diagnosed with like ADHD or anything like that, but like my brain, as you could see now listening to me, I mean, please, if you're a therapist out there, if you're a professional, I mean, I know we all are professional now with Google. We can Google anything and find out, but if you are a professional, let me know if you see some of these traits, because I feel like I can jump from one thing to another, jump back to the other thing, keep it moving. And my brain just focuses that way sometimes. But like I said, my brain is my Spotify list on shuffle mode. Like my liked list on Spotify, like I can have like literally musicals or like Little Shop of Horror, songs. Then it's going over to like, we got some classic rock, which I love, Aerosmith and stuff like that. And then move over to like, hip hop classics like Biggie and Nas and Wu-Tang. Even though I didn't really listen to Wu-Tang like that, I feel like there's a lot of albums that like I wanted to check out later on. So later on I was able to get into some of that. But yeah, and that's why I love people putting me onto music, and especially put me on to some of the older stuff that before my generation, or stuff that I didn't even know of. Like even like Billie Holiday, like stuff I would never have even thought like, wow, that's pretty dope. I really do like that. But coming from a musical background, I think that's what inspires a lot of us, right? A lot of me and, people that are creatives and want to be able to listen. And that's what helps with us, especially with my brain, the way my brain works. It's like, if I catch on an idea or a topic, I'm just going to go off with it and just be able to explore it and open it up. I've definitely felt more empathetic, like if somebody went through something and I felt their emotion at the moment, that went into a song. It just channeled through me, went into a song, and I didn't even go through that. Like when people lost somebody, I would write songs of like loss, like deep loss and sorrow and mourning and grief. And when people like broke up, I could write about heartbreak. Or if people were just excited and just happy, I could also like go off of that vibe and start, putting out a lot of that type of music. But this is a whole new medium for me, and I think it's going to be really cool for all of us to get together and have great conversations and topics and not have to worry about like sounding good or being good, because I think the best type of podcasts are the ones that we move out of the interview style so much per se and kind of go into more of like, hey, so what's going on with you? Like what's going on today? Like what's happening right now? And someone can tell me, oh, I just lost my job, or oh, you know what, I just got promoted. And I'm like, cool, let's talk about that. So hopefully a lot of you guys will be able to come and join us on this journey. Like I said in the promo video, I'm still looking for people. I'm still looking around, and I wanted to practice. So this is some practice for me. This is some practice for y'all. I'm trying to see how my equipment is working. We're also on the live, and I see some people logged on. What's up, people? How you doing? I'm going to try to log on a little more and try to incorporate you guys. Keep checking us out. I'm going to have guests. Sorry, Sharky, we're gonna have to move you, or you can stay there, whatever. It's gonna be up to the guest, but we're gonna have some guests over here. We're gonna be able to talk about whatever comes up. I'm not even trying anymore as far as me trying to control things of that nature. I think more organic, and also trying to be honest with my thoughts, with my feelings, trying to be honest with exactly what is going on in here. And I'm glad that I've been in recovery for a while and been able to shed a lot of those walls down and trying to be a little more open. So I'm peeking out to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a semi or official first episode. We're going to move forward, and I know a couple of people have hit me up, so we're going to get them in here as fast as possible so we can have some good conversations. But thank you guys for checking us out on our kind of official semi grand opening first podcast, anything you want to call it. And for the people in here that are logging on, thank you guys. And hope you guys tune in for the next one coming real soon. Peace.